Margaret was 67 years old. She had been married for 42 years. She had 3 grandchildren she adored. And every Sunday, her family came over for dinner around a big wooden table. But something had changed in the last 2 years. She'd be sitting right there at that table, surrounded by the people she loved most, and she'd realize, mid-conversation, that she had missed the last 3 things her daughter said. She'd laugh along anyway, hoping nobody noticed, but they did. Her granddaughter, little Sophie, age 8, had stopped whispering secrets in her ear. Because Grandma always asked her to repeat herself, Margaret thought, this is just getting old. She was wrong. And if you are over 60 and conversations are starting to feel like they're happening behind a wall of glass, you need to hear what I'm about to tell you. Because the most important thing I want you to take away from this video is this. Your ears are not broken. They are asking for help. And for many people, just 5 minutes every single morning could be the difference between sitting at that dinner table and hearing your family or slowly fading out of the conversation. I'm Dr. Daniel Hayes, and today I'm going to walk you through a simple 5-minute morning routine that is directly backed by research, designed specifically for people over 60 who want to protect their hearing and get sharper clarity out of every conversation. No equipment, no pills, no special gadgets. Before we start, drop a comment right now and tell me one word: muffled, distant, or ringing. Which one describes what your hearing feels like most? I want to know who I'm talking to today. Let me tell you what actually happened to Margaret. After that Sunday dinner, her daughter pulled her aside and asked her gently if she'd had her hearing checked recently. Margaret hadn't. She'd been putting it off for 2 years, the way a lot of us put off things we're afraid of. She finally went. The audiologist confirmed she had something called presbycusis, age-related hearing loss. It's not a disease. It doesn't have a dramatic beginning. It is the slow, quiet fading of the tiny structures inside your ear that convert sound into meaning. But here's the part that surprised Margaret. The audiologist didn't just talk about hearing aids. She asked Margaret a series of questions. Do you exercise in the mornings? No. Do you drink water before anything else when you wake up? Not usually. Do you spend time focusing your hearing on sounds around you? What does that even mean? Do you have tightness in your neck and jaw when you wake up? Yes, actually, every morning. The audiologist explained something that Margaret had never once heard in her life. The health of your hearing, especially after 60, is not just about the structures inside your ear. It's about blood flow. It's about nerve activation. It's about how well your brain is processing sound signals. And all 3 of those things are directly influenced by what you do in the first 5 minutes after you wake up. Margaret started a morning routine. Nothing complicated, nothing expensive. 5 minutes every morning before her first cup of coffee. Within 6 weeks, she noticed something. She could follow her daughter's voice across the kitchen again. She could hear Sophie whispering without asking her to repeat herself. She's not cured. She still has hearing loss. But she got back something she thought was gone forever. I want to show you exactly what she did and explain the real reason it works. Here's the thing most people don't know about hearing after 60. The part of your ear that converts sound into signals your brain can understand, a tiny coiled structure about the size of a pea, is one of the most blood supply dependent tissues in your entire body. When your circulation is poor, this structure doesn't get what it needs to function well. And over time, that affects how clearly you hear. Now here's what's happening for most people over 60 in the morning. You wake up after 7 or 8 hours of being still. Your blood flow is at its slowest. The muscles in your neck and jaw, which are physically connected to the nerve pathways running near your ears, are tight and stiff. Your nervous system is still coming online. Research published in peer-reviewed journals shows a direct positive link between physical activity, blood circulation, and better hearing outcomes in older adults. Specifically, studies point to cardiorespiratory health and muscle activation as 2 of the most protective factors against hearing decline. And studies looking at ear-specific circulation found that even targeted daily movement around the ear structures, like gentle massage, can improve blood flow to those inner ear tissues by measurable amounts. There's more. Your brain plays a bigger role in hearing than most people realize. When your brain stops getting sharp, consistent sound signals, because fewer people are talking to you, because you're avoiding noisy situations, because you've been quietly tuning out, the brain pathways responsible for making sense of what you hear begin to weaken. Scientists call this auditory processing, and research from Yale and other institutions confirms that stimulating and training those pathways can actually strengthen them. This means hearing is not purely passive. You can do something about it. And what you do in the morning, right after you wake up, matters more than any other time of day. Because that's when your blood flow is waking up, your nervous system is coming back online, and your brain is at its most receptive to building new habits and new connections. 5 minutes, every morning. Let me walk you through each step. Step 1 is called the warm ear activation, and it takes about 45 seconds. When you wake up, before you reach for your phone, before you get up, sit upright in bed or on the edge of your mattress. Take both of your palms and rub them together quickly, about 10 times, until you feel warmth in your hands. Then gently cup both palms over both ears at the same time, not pressing hard, just a soft, warm cover. Hold that for a slow count of 10. This simple act does something very real. The warmth and gentle pressure begin to stimulate circulation in the tissue around your ear. The delicate nerve endings just beneath the skin around the outer ear are connected directly to the auditory system, and a small amount of gentle stimulation helps wake those pathways up. Think of it like warming up a car engine before you drive it on a cold morning. You wouldn't floor the accelerator on a frozen engine, and your ears deserve the same care. After you remove your hands, you'll often notice a gentle sense of fullness or tingling. That's normal. That's the increased blood flow doing its job. Breathe slowly while you do this. In through the nose, out through the mouth. That slow breathing is not just for relaxation. It activates the vagus nerve, a major nerve in your body that runs alongside the structures near your inner ear. Research into vagus nerve stimulation consistently shows it supports auditory processing and reduces the kind of low-level nervous system tension that can make hearing harder, especially in noisy environments. 45 seconds. Warm your hands, cup your ears, breathe slowly. That is step 1. Step 2 takes about 60 seconds, and it targets something most people have never thought about: the physical tension around the outside of your ear. Your outer ear, the part you can see and touch, is held in place and connected to the surrounding tissue by a network of small ligaments and muscles. When you sleep, especially if you tend to sleep on your side, these structures can tighten. That tightening affects the blood flow and nerve signaling around the ear canal. Here's what you do. Reach up with your right hand and gently grip your right earlobe between your thumb and index finger. Now pull it gently downward, not hard, just a slow, firm stretch. Hold for 3 seconds. Release. Then grip the middle of your outer ear, the outer rim, and pull it gently upward and outward. Hold 3 seconds. Release. Then grip the top of your outer ear and pull it gently upward. Hold 3 seconds. Release. Repeat this entire sequence on the left ear with your left hand. This takes about 30 seconds per ear, 1 minute total. Studies examining ear massage and circulation in elderly patients found measurable improvements in blood flow to the inner ear structures when the outer ear and surrounding tissue were regularly stimulated. The outer ear is not just a decorative flap. It is a hub of nerve endings and blood vessels that, when activated, send positive signals inward toward the hearing structures deep inside. It also feels surprisingly good. Most people, once they try it, realize they have been carrying tension in their ears for years without knowing it. Do this slowly. Do not pull hard. The goal is a gentle stretch, not a tug. If you feel any pain at any point, ease off completely. Step 3 is the one that surprises most people the most, and it is the one that, in my opinion, is most underrated for hearing health after 60. It is the jaw release, and it takes about 60 seconds. Here's something your anatomy textbook will confirm. The jaw joint, the hinge right in front of your ear called the temporomandibular joint, sits in extremely close proximity to the structures of the middle and inner ear. The muscles controlling your jaw share nerve pathways and blood supply with the muscles inside your ear. When your jaw is tight, which for many people is every single morning after a night of clenching or grinding, it creates a kind of physical pressure that reduces blood flow and nerve signaling near the ear. And research looking at jaw muscle exercises specifically for hearing showed something remarkable. Participants who performed structured jaw movement exercises over 10 weeks improved their ability to distinguish speech, especially in noisy environments, by nearly 20%. That's not a small number. That is the difference between following a conversation at a loud restaurant and getting completely lost in one. Here's what you do. Sit up straight, open your mouth as wide as is comfortable. Not straining, just a full, relaxed opening. Hold for 3 seconds. Close slowly. Repeat 5 times. Then, with your mouth slightly open, move your jaw gently to the right. Hold 2 seconds. Return to center. Move to the left. Hold 2 seconds. Return to center. Do this 5 times in each direction. Finally, make slow, small circular motions with your jaw. 3 circles clockwise, 3 counterclockwise. The whole sequence takes about 60 seconds. And those 60 seconds are decompressing the tissue, nerve pathways, and blood vessels that sit right next to your hearing structures. You are literally giving your ears more room to work. Step 4 is one that research backs specifically for what scientists call cochlear activation, stimulating the deepest hearing structure from the inside using something you already know how to do: humming. This is not about music. This is not about being on key. This is about generating a gentle vibration that travels through your skull and directly stimulates the fluid-filled chamber at the core of your hearing system, the cochlea. Research shows that humming generates internal vibrations that reach the cochlear structures and create a form of gentle stimulation that activates the nerve fibers responsible for converting sound into signals your brain reads. It is also one of the most reliable triggers of the vagus nerve, the same nerve we mentioned during step 1, which helps reduce the nervous system tension that can interfere with clear hearing. Here's how to do it. Take a slow breath in through your nose. As you exhale, hum softly. Any comfortable note, not too high, not too low. A low, steady sound. You should feel a gentle vibration in your lips, your jaw, and behind your eyes. That vibration is the point. Do this for 3 full exhales. On each one, try to feel where the vibration goes. Let it settle in your chest, then your throat, then your face. Then, on your 4th exhale, hum while turning your head gently to the right. Slow, like you're watching something go by. Hold at the end range for a second. Return center. On the 5th exhale, turn gently to the left. Return. On the 6th exhale, tuck your chin slightly toward your chest and hum. This neck movement during humming serves a second purpose. The neck contains major arteries, the carotid arteries, that supply blood directly to the brain and, by extension, to the auditory cortex, the part of your brain that processes everything you hear. Slow, gentle neck movement while humming combines vibration-based cochlear stimulation with gentle cervical circulation. The research on exercise and auditory brain activation shows that physical movement, even small amounts, primes the brain to receive and process sound more effectively. 6 hums, 1 minute. That is step 4. This final step is the one most people skip because it looks like doing nothing, but it may be the most important step of all. It is called the listening focus exercise, and it takes 60 to 90 seconds. Here's what most people do not know about hearing after 60. The problem is not always in the ear, it is increasingly in the brain. As we age, the brain's ability to rapidly sort and interpret sound signals, to separate a voice from background noise, to fill in the gaps when a word is spoken softly, naturally slows down. Scientists at Yale and other institutions have confirmed that this auditory processing ability responds to deliberate training, meaning you can get it back, or at least slow its decline, by actively training it every day. Here is the exercise. Sit still. Close your eyes. Do not try to hear anything in particular. Just listen. Let whatever sounds are around you come to you. The hum of the refrigerator, the birds outside, traffic in the distance, your own breathing. For the first 30 seconds, just receive everything. Do not name it, do not analyze it. Just let it land. Then, for the next 30 seconds, pick one specific sound and follow it. Just that sound. Ignore everything else. The bird, the refrigerator, your own heartbeat. Focus only on that single source of sound. This exercise trains what researchers call selective auditory attention, the brain's ability to lock onto one voice or one sound in a complex environment. This is precisely the skill that fails when you're sitting at dinner and you can't follow the conversation even though everyone else can. It is not that your ears are bad. It is that your brain has stopped practicing how to sort sounds efficiently. 30 seconds of open listening. 30 seconds of focused listening. Eyes closed. Completely still. That is step 5. And that is your 5 minutes. Let me walk you through all 5 steps together so you have them clearly. Step 1. Warm ear activation. Rub your palms together, cup both ears, breathe slowly. 45 seconds. Step 2. Gentle ear pull. Grip and gently stretch your earlobe down, mid-ear outward, top of ear upward. Both ears. 60 seconds. Step 3. Jaw release. Open wide 5 times. Move side to side 5 times each direction. Gentle jaw circles 3 each way. 60 seconds. Step 4. Humming exercise. 6 slow exhales with a low hum, with gentle neck turns on the last 3. 60 seconds. Step 5. Listening focus. Eyes closed. 30 seconds of open listening. 30 seconds of focused single sound listening. 60 seconds. Total, roughly 5 minutes. Every morning. Before anything else. No equipment, no cost, no special location. You can do this in bed, on the edge of your mattress, at the kitchen table, or sitting in your favorite chair. I want to briefly explain why the morning matters so specifically, because this is not arbitrary. When you first wake up, your blood is at its lowest circulation efficiency of the day. The inner ear structures are among the first tissues to suffer when circulation drops. By doing these 5 steps first thing, you are ensuring that those delicate tissues get a surge of fresh, oxygenated blood before you expose your ears to the demands of the day. There's a second reason. Morning is when your brain is at its highest level of neuroplasticity, its capacity to build and strengthen new connections. Research on brain training for auditory processing consistently shows better results when the training is done in the morning, particularly when combined with even small amounts of physical movement. Participants in one study who performed auditory exercises after a short walk showed 15% greater brain activation during listening tasks than those who did them while sedentary. And the third reason is the most practical one. Habits stick when they're attached to an existing routine. Every single person over 60 has a morning. Attaching 5 new minutes to your morning, before coffee, before your phone, before the news, creates a ritual that your body and brain will begin to expect and crave. I want to be completely honest with you about what to expect. This routine will not cure hearing loss. If you have significant damage to the structures inside your ear, these exercises cannot undo that damage. What they can do is protect what you still have, optimize how well the remaining hearing pathways function, and train your brain to get the most out of every sound signal it receives. For many people, the first thing they notice, usually within 2 to 4 weeks of consistent daily practice, is not that sounds get louder, it is that sounds get clearer. The difference between hearing that someone said something and being able to actually understand it. Following conversation in a noisy room with less strain. Feeling less exhausted after social situations where you've been working hard to keep up. That exhaustion, what audiologists sometimes call listening fatigue, is extremely common in people over 60 with early to moderate hearing changes. It happens because the brain is working overtime to compensate for incomplete sound signals. When you improve circulation to the hearing structures and train your auditory brain pathways daily, you reduce that compensatory effort. You stop working so hard to hear. Things feel easier. That is what Margaret noticed. Not that the world got louder, that it got easier to be in the world. If you practice this for 30 days, 5 minutes every morning, without skipping, I want you to come back to this video and leave a comment. Tell me what changed. Tell me if Sunday dinner sounds different. Tell me if your grandchildren's voices are clearer. Because those stories matter. Not to me, to the next person who finds this video and is sitting at their own dinner table wondering if it's already too late. It is not too late. Not for Margaret. Not for you. A few important things before I let you go. First, I am a doctor, but I am not your doctor. If you are experiencing sudden hearing loss in just one ear, ringing that is new or getting worse, or any pain in your ears, please do not rely on a morning routine. See a professional. Those symptoms deserve immediate attention and may indicate something that needs proper evaluation and treatment. Second, this routine works best as one layer of a larger approach. Protecting your ears from loud noise, especially with earphones or at concerts, matters enormously. Controlling blood pressure and blood sugar, which both directly affect hearing circulation, matters enormously. Staying socially engaged, having conversations, listening to audiobooks, engaging in group activities, is one of the strongest things you can do to keep your auditory brain pathways sharp. Research from multiple institutions confirms that social isolation accelerates hearing-related brain decline faster than almost any other factor. And third, if your hearing has declined significantly, hearing aids are not a defeat. They are a tool, a remarkable one. And wearing one consistently while doing this morning routine gives your auditory brain the input it needs to keep building those pathways. The routine and the hearing aid work together, not against each other. Margaret's granddaughter Sophie is 9 years old now. Last month, Margaret was sitting in the garden with her when Sophie leaned over and whispered something in her ear. Margaret heard it clearly, every single word. She laughed. Sophie laughed. And neither of them said anything about it because there was nothing unusual about a grandmother hearing her granddaughter. But Margaret cried that night, alone in her kitchen, because she knew what it had cost her to get that moment back. And she knew how close she had come to never getting it. You did not come to this video by accident. Something in your life, a moment at a dinner table, a grandchild's voice, a conversation you couldn't follow, brought you here. That moment is not telling you it is over. It is telling you it is time. 5 minutes tomorrow morning, before your phone, before your coffee, before the news. Your ears have been carrying you through your whole life. Give them 5 minutes. Before you go, I need one thing from you. Drop a comment right now with the one word from the beginning of this video: muffled, distant, or ringing. And if you've already noticed any changes in your hearing over the last year, tell me about that too. Every comment this video gets tells YouTube that this information is worth sharing, and puts it in front of another person sitting at their dinner table wondering if they're disappearing. If this helped you today, share it. Send it to someone you love who is over 60 and struggling to follow conversations. This costs nothing and takes 5 minutes. The least we can do is make sure the people we love know it exists. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. I put out evidence-based health guidance specifically designed for people over 60. Practical, straightforward, and built around what the research actually says, not what sounds good. I'm Dr. Daniel Hayes. Take care of your hearing. Start tomorrow morning, and I'll see you in the next one.